Lucy,
that one, resume recording. Start admitting everybody. People coming in. Another one coming in. So hello everybody that's joined us already. We're just going to give it 5 or 6 minutes, or not 5 or 6 minutes, a few minutes to see if there's anybody else wanting to join us, and let these guys in. So hopefully you've all had a good day. Heather and I have had a great day. We've been coaching all day, and one of my coaching students has managed to find a deal up in the north of England that could be a flip and could earn her £20,000 gross profit. That's before she has any costs involved. So Heather, you've been doing the same today?
I've been at it, yeah, I certainly have. It's been busy in Scotland. I've been looking at 3 properties for another investor from Switzerland, and we managed to get one today for her. So all good in that front. But not all students are taking action and moving forward. So it's been a great delight today.
That's perfect. And I mean, that's the big thing we say to everybody that we coach or we teach. You've got to take action. You've got to take those small steps forward every day to get you to where you want to be. Absolutely. So we'll wait another minute. While we're waiting for people to join us, we'll just go through what we're going to do in a moment. We have got a prize to give out today, which is exciting. Nice £20 Amazon voucher that we're going to award to somebody when we get going in a moment. Heather and I have been looking at your posts, and it's fabulous. There's a few of you that are really getting involved, really interacting with each other, really helping each other, and this is how it works. If you help others, you find you help yourself an awful lot as well. It's really important to get involved in these kind of things and to teach each other. Or when you're talking to each other, I noticed there was somebody who mentioned something about costs and that said they missed out on. So there's some great stuff going on there. So as we said, in about a minute or two, just give you one more minute, and we're going to tell you who's won that £20 Amazon voucher. And we're also going to ask you again tonight to do some more interaction, to get back on there again tonight. You know, we will probably start looking around about lunchtime again tomorrow to see what kind of activity you've done. We want you to post some information up about what we tell you at the end of today, and also interact with each other, supporting each other, communicating with each other. And again, we'll do another voucher tomorrow morning for the winner of the activity tonight, and tomorrow to 12. And then we're going to do something extra on top of that, which we won't tell you about just yet. We're going to do something really good. We're excited about it. Another little bonus, something that we're going to do for you, which we'll tell you about tomorrow. That will be really worthwhile you coming on board with us and using. So, okay, let's get going then, shall we, Heather? Should we give the award out first? Should we do that first? Yeah? Okay.
Yeah, why not?
Happy about that?
It'd be very good.
All right, so having looked at all the posts and all the activity and the interaction you've got, we thought actually there was one person on there who got most of the comments. Lots of people were commenting, lots of people were interacting, and that person really showed a real sort of have a go attitude, and that's what we wanted you to do. We didn't want you to be experts or anything like that. We just wanted to see you have a go at this and interact. And Heather and I both had a look at it, and we decided that Lucy Through, I think that's how you pronounce the name, Thuo, you're going to be the winner of the voucher tonight. So well done, Lucy. What we need you to do really is just to send us your email address, and we will get Nikki, who does the admin for us and looks after things for us, to send you the voucher through on an email. So Lucy, I guess if you just message one of us, private message one of us with your email address, then Lucy says thank you. Then we will send that through to you. So thank you, Lucy, for taking part. That's what it's all about. We're going to do the same tomorrow. Beta's giving you a round of applause there as well. Well done. Yeah, thank you. And we're going to do the same again tomorrow. So get your activity going tonight, and we'll see who's really getting all those kind of interactions. I mean, there was some really good stuff going on there, and we did see it. And we're not saying anybody wasn't as good. We just like the fact that there was 28 odd comments on that one post. So get it there, get that information out there. So tonight we're going to talk about what's the best strategy for you. As you know, Heather and I are both coaches and mentors, and we've been investing in property for 30 years between us. Both Heather and myself have been coaches and been mentors, and coaching and mentoring people for a good 7 to 8 years now. And I think on our YouTube channel, or my YouTube channel, I can't remember which one it is, one of the YouTube channels we have, there is some testimonials up there from people who we've coached. So you can actually go and listen to what they've, might even be on Facebook as well, from what how they've got on. So Heather, you've done the same as well?
Certainly have. So I've went from buy-to-lets into flips, into HMOs, into changing it over to Airbnb. But tonight I would just like to speak about the buy-to-let system. I just feel the buy-to-let system is your bread and butter at the foundations of building your portfolio. It's a safer route for everyone financially, and it's a great beginner's route. And the reason I say it's a great beginner's route is you learn so much on your very first simple buy-to-let. I've got a great student, Eric, that came over and he was looking to earn, financial freedom figure was roughly about £1,500, £2,000, and within 18 months Eric's actually bought 3 buy-to-lets in the Glasgow area, and then we moved him from Glasgow to HMO down south in Manchester, and he's actually got 5 on his desk now. So he's absolutely delighted because he's actually got over £4,000 in cash flow. And all he did was, he did it the first time round, bought his buy-to-lets, got himself set up, and then he just moved on to the bigger stuff, HMO, only when he was ready. Okay, so everyone's different. So yeah, I just love baby buy-to-lets. They're the strength and the backbone of any sort of business. 1 bedrooms, 2 bedrooms, great little cash flows. So nothing will sway me to anything else, although I have done everything else. I have done the flips for the capital and for the cash flow, get the money out and buy another one. So again, completely up to you. What is your strategy is the question in your area. What is your favourite? So over to you, Neil.
Absolutely. I mean, we're talking tonight about what's the best strategy for you, and you know, not everyone's different. So some of us have some of us have money, some of us have time, some of us have both time and money, and some of us have neither. So really the strategy needs to match what you're capable of doing, or what you've got the situation you're in. Money isn't that big a deal. I mean, people think that money is the real the block, let's say, but actually money is probably, certainly Heather and I have found that money is the one that really seems to work the best. It is the easiest to come. And we have a saying that, you know, when you find the right deal, the money will materialize, it will appear, and that money will come through. It's really, really strange. It's a strange phenomenon, and what you believe in is up to you. But I believe that things come around at the right time in your life. And today, with one of my coaching clients I was talking to, we were talking about a deal, and basically she needed £99,000 to buy the deal. And we were talking about it, and her mum has just offered her £100,000. So how weird is that? We found the deal for £99,000. That's going to cost her for the whole thing to buy and do it all up, etc. And suddenly £100,000 has materialized. How has that happened? Okay, so it's kind of weird. But so money isn't that the big issue really, but you might feel about it, and it's how you respond to money. But everybody has different things, and basically you need to take that into consideration when you're doing it. Now, if you haven't got anything already, if you've not got a buy-to-let already, or if you've not got a home, for example, that you own, so say you're renting, then your first property is going to be more difficult to get cheap lending. The lending you can get, and the brokers we use and the people we use, and we're happy to share our team with you guys that come on board with us, and they will get you a mortgage, but the first mortgage may not be as high a low percentage as you can get afterwards. It might be 1 or 2% more than the cheapest one. However, once you've got one property under your belt, you suddenly become an experienced investor in the lender's eyes, because you've got experience, and then the rest of the products come available. So you've got to think about that it's not impossible. We can do this, and we can do this with whatever situation we're in, circumstances we're in, and we will show you and teach you how to do that. Heather and I teach, and there are lots of other organizations out there and people that teach a very similar sort of model, and that is a pyramid model. So if you imagine a triangle or a pyramid, and you've got a line at the bottom and 2 lines at the top, and you chunk that into about 3 or 4 sections. The bottom of the pyramid is your foundation, and any pyramid needs a strong foundation. And we always suggest to people that buy-to-lets are what you need to be buying down there. Now, if you've already got some buy-to-lets, fine, then you can step up a level in the pyramid. But on the pyramid, we suggest that the best strategy for you is to go for buy-to-lets. We call them baby buy-to-lets. And there are areas in the country where you can get very, very cheap buy-to-lets. I know Scotland. What can we pick up buy-to-lets for in Scotland, Heather?
Well, if you're doing it without a mortgage, you're talking anything up from £30,000 onwards up to about 50. If you're going to go for a mortgage strategy, then you're talking £50,000. But yeah, you can pick up anything in Scotland for, I would say, comfortable 30,000 one bedroom. If you're buying in cash, anything over mortgage, you're talking up to about £60,000.
There you go. So for as little as £50,000-60,000 or cash £30,000, you can buy a buy-to-let that's going to generate you something like £300 or £400 rent, maybe slightly more. And there are other areas in England you can do that too, and in Wales. So this is where we say buy that baby buy-to-let. And when you get a mortgage on something like that, it's only going to be somewhere in the region of £100 to £150 a month. And for me, when I started, that was really good, because it wasn't going to be so much of a risk. If I bought a property and I was doing it up and I had to have it empty for any period of time, £150, it's not great trying to find that mortgage, but it's easier to find £150 than if I went down the road where I live in Wiltshire and I bought a 2-bedroom terraced house for £170,000. I've then suddenly got a mortgage of £500, £600 a month. And that's harder to find when it's empty, isn't it? So when that's empty, if I hadn't got the right strategy and hadn't done my homework, which we were talking about to you yesterday, that's going to hurt trying to find that money. But as it is, if you go for little baby buy-to-lets, for me, in my mind, it was kind of a little bit safer, a little bit more steady, and that's what we teach. Now, those buy-to-lets, they sit and they earn you money all day long. Once they're rented out, chances are you've got tenants that are in there, and they're probably going to be in there 3, 5, even I've got tenants that have been in properties at 10 years of mine, and they just don't want to move on. And you've got that coming in all the time. So that's why we call them the foundation and of our strategy. So we buy a few of those, or as many as we need. Let's say, for example, we want to get a certain amount of income every month. Perhaps we want to get £2,000 a month income. Now, the baby buy-to-lets can generate you something in the region of £200 a month cash flow. So that's money in your pocket at the end of every month. So what do you need? You need 10 of those to get to that particular level. But once you've got to that level, or once you've got up to that particular point, then you can start stepping up in the pyramid. So then you might think about HMOs, you might think about flips, commercial property, those kind of things. All of those things start to cost a little bit more money, a little bit more involved, but you will have experience and you will have your foundation keeping you safe. Heather mentioned about one of her students up in that did quite a bit of great stuff there. Well, I had a student, I'll tell you about one of my students as well. I won't tell you his name, but he came with me. He did coaching with me and some mentoring with me over a period. I think we did it over 6 months. Went on maybe about 8 months, because I extended it because he needed some more help to finish off what he was doing. But during that time, he bought 5 buy-to-let properties. So just in a period of 8 months, I think it was, he bought or got offers accepted on 5 buy-to-let properties, which got him best part of £1,000 a month. Now, he continues to work with me, and we've been working, Heather's now working with him as well, where we work as a group, because he wanted some group support. So we've joined with him, and he now has multiple buy-to-lets, which is what his strategy was. He wanted to stay with buy-to-lets to get him to a particular level for his income. But now he's moved on to something much bigger. Now he decided he wanted to set up, he had a business and he wanted to put that business into a premises. And we said, well, why don't you buy a premises rather than renting a premises? Heather and I sat down with him, we went through, he did all the research, he found a property, he found a building, we did some creative deals with him. We're going to talk about creative stuff tomorrow, about how you can finance things creatively without much money, or getting things very cheaply to start with. He did that, and he's moved that into his business into that building. It's been going probably about 6 months now or so, and he is thriving. I think the last figure we spoke to him on his business, he was bringing in about £15,000 a month. That's before his costs and before his bills and everything else, obviously. But he's suddenly gone, but he's got this foundation supporting him all the way along. His buy-to-lets are there. Now he's jumped up to this commercial property, which he's also put a business into, which he's not. He's working a little bit in the business, but he's also got business partners in there and other people working for him. So these are the kind of things that you can step up to, and the kind of things we suggest you do. So Heather and I, have you got anything else to add to that, Heather?
No, totally. Start with the baby foundations and work your way up. Find out where you're comfortable on, and it's all about the confidence building as well. And Neil and I will always explain that when we deal one-to-ones, but very much so. I was a single parent out there doing this on my own, so I had lack of confidence and I needed a handheld. So the buy-to-let structure really worked well for me until I got to the level that I thought, you know what, I can step up now. I've got the confidence to understand the finances, which we'll go into tomorrow night. I'll understand how the mortgages work, how you can buy in cash and refinance. So I was totally, by that time, as everyone says in the business, once you know how to do it, start growing and move up the ladder. And that was all we did. And the results that we're getting from students just now is absolutely amazing.
Yeah, we've got, I mean, people are going on at the moment about, oh, COVID is stopping us from doing this. And, you know, the housing market is in this position. But I've bought a property this week. My students are buying properties this week. Heather's students are buying properties this week. Our guys are still buying properties, and they're properties that are going to make them money. Now, there's a lot of talk about, is there going to be a crash? Is there going to be a problem? And is your property going to be worth less? Now, a lot of people in the last crash kept saying to me, oh no, Neil, my property's crashed. The value's gone down by half. So, you know, I had a property that's worth 100,000. Now it's only worth 50. What am I going to do? What am I going to do? And I'm saying, well, is your property still generating you an income? Is it still creating you profit, cash flow every month? And they went, yeah, it's still rented out. It goes, well, what do you need to do anything? What does it matter what it's worth right now? You've already done the work. You've already done the finance on it. You've already done everything before that. So there was nothing need to do. And all of those people, their properties are now caught up the value again and probably gone higher since then. So we all, one big thing we say, when everybody's running that way, we run that way. You know, so when everyone's getting out of this business, that's when we want to get into the business even more, because there are going to be more deals around there. So that's a little tip for you guys. Right now is a great time to start getting involved in property, without a doubt. So we've said to you that we want you, we're talking about, you know, buy-to-lets. Really, if you've not already done any property, you've not already got any buy-to-lets or anything like that. Obviously, I mentioned that if you don't have a buy-to-let and you are rented, then mortgages are a little bit higher. If you have your own property and you live in your own house and you have your own mortgage, then actually mortgages are a little bit easier to get, a little bit cheaper. But our broker is awesome. He will get you anything really over the line. We've thrown so many challenging things at him over the years, haven't we, Heather? We've just said to him, you know, here's a student who's got bad credit, who hasn't got any money, all this kind of stuff. Can you find them a deal? And he's going, yeah, I'll see what I can do. We'll go out. It might not be the best interest rate in the world, but he says he finds them something and off they go. And then once they get going, we can refinance later on. Because once you get some kind of history with a lender, they love it. They're happy to be with you. So that's kind of where we're saying, if you haven't done anything, buy-to-lets, buy-to-lets, buy-to-lets all day long, little cheap buy-to-lets from your area. So on that, we're going to give you a little bit of challenge tonight for you to do. And what we want you to do, and again, remember, we're going to be looking for posts about all this kind of information on the Facebook page. We want you to put up their comments. We want you to interact with each other. We want you to help each other, talk to each other. This is all about supporting each other as we go. We're very, very passionate about having a great support group. The people we want in our ICaN training closed group or support groups, professional group, we want the right people to help each other as well. We want you to encourage, we want you to support and help, and not just be the big person who shouts about how amazing they are. We want you to be people that are helping, because that's exactly what we want, and that's what we're going to do. So tonight, Heather, what's tonight's challenge?
Tonight's challenge, I want each and every one of you to get into your own local area and find out a strategy that works best for you. So if you're in an area you can do buy-to-lets, you look for buy-to-lets. If you're in an area and it's HMO, okay, go for the HMO. But if you're a little bit more and you want to do a little bit of commercial, build up, carry on, put your posts up, and Neil and I will be delighted to go through them tomorrow and see where we can support you. So good luck on your homework tonight. Take action.
Absolutely. Go for it. Go get the stuff up there, and there'll be another voucher for you tomorrow. And then after that, we're going to come up with something really exciting, because we're enjoying this at the moment, Heather and I. We really want to do something that's a bit much bigger, and we love it. So hopefully you're all enjoying it. Hopefully you're enjoying the content so far. Post like crazy on the Facebook page, tell your friends, get involved, and we'll see you all tomorrow. So goodbye from me.
Goodbye for me.